And with the new year well underway, I know a lot of folks are looking to get healthier, trying to do that resolution, trying to maybe join a gym, lose some weight, find some new ways to lose weight. But be careful before you sign on the dotted line. Juliana O'Rork from the Better Business Bureau is back from a very well-deserved vacation. Good for you. We're just doing a little FOMO convo on her vacay. But, getting back into this health tip and back on the, wagon if you so will, Juliana. A lot of people are thinking about joining a gym.
Yeah, it's okay. I fell off the wagon in December too. I was busy. I was doing lots of
Really?
things. No big deal. Yep.
How do you fall off the wagon and live in a swimsuit
all
winter?
So you're like, work out? I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the same boat.
But
What is the biggest mistake people make though when trying to get to a gym or sign up for one?
So this time of year obviously is very, very prominent for people joining gyms, making New Year's resolution. New year, new me type of thing. But some of the biggest things we want people to kind of think about before they decide on what gym to join is essentially what are your overall fitness goals and what's your budget. You want to know what is it that you're looking for from a gym. Are you somebody that wants to go to classes? Are you somebody that can go in a gym and do your workout on your own? You don't need to be bothered by anybody, or do you need some of that support, maybe a partner or a friend to go with? And then also, what's your budget? What are you willing to spend? And that doesn't just mean upfront when you sign up. That means sometimes those gyms have fees that they charge you throughout the year, whether it's a maintenance fee, whether they have a fee for you to cancel the contract, or if you need to freeze it at some point. So those are things you want to keep in mind. I also think too, especially as we've moved away from COVID, but we live in a little bit of a different world than we did with pre-COVID. Do you want classes available to you at home? Do you want workouts available to you at home? Does the gym or the facility you're looking at offer those types of things? And so these are all kind of things you want to be thinking about before you just agree to go somewhere or sign up somewhere, and then you've signed up and now, oh shoot, I didn't think about all of these other things that I might want.
Yeah, and I think it was last week or the week before, there's an actual quitter's day.
Oh.
So people quit their resolutions or quit their efforting. And so, if you sign up for a year-long gym membership and you've already joined Quitter's Day, well, you've just lost a lot of money.
Yeah, and I also think too, you want to make sure whenever you want to tour a facility first.
Oh, yeah.
And also figure out what time do you plan on going. I know for me, I prefer to go really early in the morning because it's not quite as busy, but I will say that trend is changing. It's busier than it's been in the past. And I did go last week in the evening, not thinking about what day or time it was, still getting back from vacation. Walked in and I was like, oh wow, it's January. I forgot. And I'm a consistent goer, and so I can see the flux of people. So I think that's also important to know that January is going to be really busy, probably into February. That may slow down sometime, but if there's a specific time you want to go, like after work, 5 to 7, it's going to be a lot busier than maybe some of the times throughout the day. So consider that as well, and how much time you have or how much time you've allotted to be able to squeeze in some fitness things.
Yeah, those tours, they give the tours all the time.
Yeah,
see
they do.
new
Like
customers.
a free class or a free anything.
And that's the other thing too, is you want to ask, do you have any type of free promotional week or classes, or so I can try it out before I sign?
Why not?
There's a lot of places that give really great discounts. I know I recently joined a Pilates studio, and the first 2 weeks was substantially cheaper than what the normal membership is because they want you to check it out and try it. So all of those things you should pay attention to.
Okay, very good. So then are there any red flags to watch out for to not go to a gym or walk away or not sign on the dotted line for a membership?
I think, just as with anything else, if you are feeling very pressured, that's not a sales tactic that should be used, especially if you're trying to improve your health and your fitness. So I would look out for that specifically. Also, sometimes those contracts can be really long term, so you want to pay attention. Do they make you sign a contract? How long is it for? If you decided, you didn't want to do it after 6 months, what's that look like to try to cancel it? Or if something happens to you, can you freeze it? These are all things you just really want to pay attention to and ask before you sign on a contract, because as we all know, contracts are really wordy, they're lengthy. None of us like to really read that stuff, but you want to make sure you understand what you're signing up for and what you're on the hook for from a financial standpoint as well.
Yeah, and just ask people, some of these chain gyms.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is, there's so many people in any facility you go into. You can always ask them. You can always go to bbb.org, search the business, see what you can come up with. Google, Chat GPT, throw the name of the business in there and type in reviews or scam or, anything to get information. There's so much information out there with social media platforms, Chat GPT and AI. You can find so much just online.
Yeah. And it's an investment in your health and yourself and your time, worth that extra read or
absolutely.
the reviews and vetting it.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to stay on this health goal, health tip. Part of that are products separate from an actual signing up for a membership. There's a weight loss scam, or several of them out there. But what exactly, Juliana, are we talking about here as far as the products that promise or promote weight loss?
Yeah, so we also know this time of year is very big for weight loss products. Obviously, the gym and weight loss kind of go hand in hand, and most people are essentially trying to do some version of that. And so we always recommend, checking things out first and foremost. But we have had people report to us about a specific product called LipoMax, and how there's a lot of deep fake videos out there with celebrity endorsements that are not actually accurate. And so one of the biggest ones we've been hearing about is a video that's a deep fake with Oprah. And we all know Oprah kind of skews up and down with her weight, and so it's easy to believe when you see these celebrities and in these deep fake videos they're saying that they have helped to fund these products and they're amazing and they've lost all this weight and blah blah blah, and sometimes they've got doctors in there and all of this stuff, but unfortunately they're not real videos, they're not actually endorsed by these celebrities, but they tout these great amazing results. And so people see that, and a lot of people want a quicker fix than having to do the diet and the exercise thing, and so they make the purchase, and then either the company doesn't leave them alone, maybe they don't get exactly what they ordered. It could depend and vary, situations, if you will, and what happens, but essentially some version of that. And then they may even try to come back to you and say, hey, we know you bought this product, maybe you want to buy this or work with this person or do these things. And so sometimes you find yourself where you maybe thought you had a free trial for something, or you purchased one time, now they've got you on the hook for like a subscription almost, and all of what you thought that you saw or read was actually not accurate or real because it was all created by AI.
I mean, with these videos, like so many images, are getting so sophisticated, and how can consumers spot them then that it is a fake?
Yeah, it's really difficult, and that's where you really have to spend the time doing the research. You can, put anything into AI these days, so if you find a video, put it into AI and say, is this real? Look to see, as I mentioned, you can type anything in these days with the word scam after it, customer reviews after it, and we all know that people go to the internet when they're either very pleased with the service or they're very displeased, and so you're going to be able to find that information pretty accurately. I also think sometimes we ignore just a gut feeling when you see something that's too good to be true, and you're like, look, if this product is telling me I can lose 20 pounds in a month or something that's a little bit unrealistic, I think that's where your gut feeling and your gut instinct should sort of kick in and say, as much as I would love for this to be true, it's probably not, because that's just not how this stuff sort of works. And so we always just encourage people to really spend the time to do the research before you buy. If you choose to buy because you feel like it's legit, always use a credit card, because then you can at least go back to dispute the charges, whether you get the right product, the wrong product, you don't get a product at all. If they have essentially put you on some subscription plan, you can go back to that financial institution and say, hey, I didn't do this, I didn't agree to this, I didn't realize I agreed to this, whatever have you. But we always recommend a credit card over anything else for that protection.
So these products don't work. Is that what you're...
Maybe they work for some people. I can't say I've researched enough myself, but we've had the reports come into us that say they were just basically tricked, or they didn't have a great experience once they made a purchase, and they purchased because they saw these videos of these celebrities. Yeah,
Oprah sells.
She does. But I will say she's doing some GLP, which she... honestly, no fake there. She is doing the GLP for real.
And I would say that's a bit more of a trend that we see now that we didn't used to see, where people are very open and vocal about the things that they do.
Right.
So continue to do the research, because you can't have one person be on 5 different weight loss products. Your body would shut down. It just doesn't work like that, right? And so, again, just spending the time to really look and talk to people and see if you know anybody that's, used said product. If it's that popular, you're going to find more videos on social media of people talking about it and positive things versus just this one endorsement video from a very famous person.
What is the status of this particular product now?
Yeah, so this particular product, we reached out to LipoMax, and basically one of the representatives just said that, they don't endorse any type of AI build from commercials, just anything along those lines. It's just, as you can imagine, it's really hard in today's day and age. People create whatever they want, they post whatever they want, but they are not behind these deepfake videos or anything like that. So it's, again, sort of use at your own risk, purchase at your own risk, but just do the research before you buy anything.
And if people do encounter this kind of situation, they bought the product, they're into a subscription trap or what have you, what can they do for a resolution?
I would definitely reach out to the financial institution you have with your credit card, see how they can assist you. Obviously, report it to us at BBB. We want to know. We have our BBB scam tracker tool, bbb.org/scam tracker. We want to know what's going on, so then I can come talk to you all, so we can make sure the community knows, hey, this is happening. We're seeing this. We want to make sure that everybody in our community knows, because especially if it's happening here, it's always one of those things where you're like, oh, that would never happen to me. Oh, that happens here, there, and wherever.
Right.
And then it actually happens in your community, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is a little close to home now.
Yeah. Scammers are getting savvy.
Yeah.
We have to get just as savvy to protect our wallet and our personal information.